So I want to tell you this incredible story about how hitting absolute rock bottom can actually become the launch pad for something amazing. It's a journey that totally redefines what failure means and shows the incredible power of just sticking with it.
And this quote right here, from the man himself, Pankaj Sijaria, it really sets the stage perfectly. He says, when failure comes in your life, it is a new beginning. Think about that. It's not the end of the road, it's a new starting line. And his life story? Well, it's a masterclass in exactly that.
All right, let's jump back in time to 2017. This is where we meet Pankaj Sijaria. He'd been a really successful teacher for over 5 years, but he had that itch, that feeling that you want to build something yourself, something that's all yours. And man, did he take a leap of faith. He quit his stable, secure teaching job and poured every bit of his savings into a startup called CG's Kitchen. It was a 24/7 food delivery service, and at first, it was taking off. He was pulling 18, sometimes 20-hour days, and the orders were just flying in. I mean, it really looked like this crazy risk was about to pay off big time.
But you know how it goes. Just as fast as it all came together, it started to fall apart. This is where we see just how fragile a new dream can be and how one little crack can bring the whole thing down.
So what happened? Well, it was like this perfect storm, a total domino effect. A competitor swooped in and hired away his one single most important cook. And without that cook, the taste, the quality, it just wasn't there anymore. Then came the bad reviews online. And just like that, the whole business he had bet his entire life on had to close its doors for good.
And just like that, everything was gone. Zero. We're talking about losing every single rupee he'd ever saved. He had to borrow money from his brother just to cover daily expenses. He had officially hit rock bottom, not just financially, but emotionally too. So the big question is, right? How in the world do you come back from that? This next chapter, it's all about that climb back from total rock bottom.
Inside, Pankaj was fighting a huge battle. On one side, you had this voice in his head just tearing him down, saying, "You're out of touch, your confidence is shot." But on the other side, he had these lifelines. His brother, who gently reminded him, "Go back to teaching, man, it made you happy." And then a former mentor called him, right at the perfect moment, with a job opening, saying those simple words, "You can do this."
So in 2018, he did it. He stepped back into a classroom. Can you imagine? He says that first lecture felt like he was starting from scratch, like the very first day of his entire career, all over again. But little by little, class by class, he started to get his groove back. His confidence started to rebuild. Okay, Section 4, Crisis Creates Opportunity. So just when things are starting to look up for Pankaj, bam, 2020 happens. The COVID-19 lockdown hits and the whole world is thrown into chaos all over again. But this crisis, it turned out to be his greatest opportunity yet.
He started recording his lessons from home for his students. And his setup was, well, it was as scrappy as you can possibly get. He was literally just holding his phone over a little whiteboard. He even tells this wild story about having to sneak out during the strict lockdown, getting chased by police, just so he could buy 2 whiteboard markers. He was using a camera from 1994 that would shut off every 30 minutes. Then a student said something that changed everything. "Sir, why don't you upload this to YouTube for everyone?"
And at first, it was crickets. Seriously. His first videos got maybe 4 views, probably his mom and his brother, right? But then something cool happened. His own students started sharing the videos. And slowly, those 4 views turned into 90 views. And then it just kept growing as more and more students found and shared his lessons. But here's the thing that just blows my mind. His consistency. It was absolutely relentless. He said he would go into his little recording room at 11 in the morning and not come out until 11 at night. Get this, in just 7 or 8 months during lockdown, he uploaded over 250 incredibly detailed, high-quality videos. And all that hard work, well, it didn't go unnoticed. The huge ed tech platform Physics Wallah reached out. They asked him to come in and record a short demo. But Pankaj, he doesn't really do short. He got into that room and just went for it. He recorded for 1 hour and 24 minutes straight, non-stop, until he had completely finished the topic. His passion was just so obvious, and they hired him right there on the spot.
Okay, this brings us to the big lesson, the whole point of this story. This is where we connect all the dots. He calls it life's sine wave lesson.
And this is the twist. This is where it all comes full circle. Years later at Physics Wallah, Pankaj was offered leadership roles, managing whole departments. So where did a teacher get those management skills? From his failed kitchen back in 2017. The skills from his biggest failure became the key to his biggest success. How amazing is that?
And that's what he means by the sine wave of life. It's this beautiful idea that life is always going to have these peaks and valleys, these ups and downs. You can't avoid them. The only thing you can really control is your commitment to just keep going, to stay consistent through all of it.
So, when we boil it all down, what can we take away from this incredible story? There are really three big things. First, no experience is ever wasted, not even the failures. Second, consistency really is everything. That relentless effort is what builds momentum. And third, you have to always be ready, because you just never know when your shot is going to come.
So Pankaj leaves us with this thought. He believes that life gives you about 4 big chances for every major thing. The only question is, when your chance shows up, are you going to be ready for it?